In today's video, we're going to discuss how to choose a weight loss program that's right for you without trying them all. Now, what do I mean about trying them all? You know what I'm talking about. You've tried everything, you've lost a little bit of weight, and then here it came back again. I'm talking about the pills, the counting of calories, the counting of points, the shakes, the boxed food, all those different things. The starving ourselves, let's not forget that one. All those things that we've tried to lose weight, that's what I'm talking about. Why is this important to you? Well, let's talk about that for a second. How much patience do you have for frustration? How much success do you want to have in your programs? And do you want to keep that success for long term? I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you my story. So back 10 years ago, I found myself struggling with my weight, and like a lot of you, weight struggles are a part of your life, but for me, it was part of my whole life. I mean, 40 years. So I constantly had this at the back of my mind, probably filtering through 80% of the thoughts process that I had. Why am I overweight? How is this affecting my life? I wasn't feeling very good. I didn't have a whole lot of energy to go about and do my daily activities. I'd come home at night and I would just dump. I didn't have any energy to talk, algebra with my daughter or play with my son or do all those things that normal parents should be doing. I had acid reflux, I had IBS, my knees hurt, my hips hurt, my back hurt, I didn't sleep well, I was told that I was snoring. All those things were affecting my life in a very negative way. And I really didn't know how to solve it. I tried literally everything under the sun. I'd lose a little bit, gain it right back plus some. And I finally ended up super frustrated. And honestly, I didn't even know I was 355 pounds until I finally got on a scale and I was quite shocked. That's when I decided that I needed to do something different. I needed a change, but I really didn't know what. But that serendipitously I got in touch with a doctor who was a little bit different. This doctor ran different tests. Not the normal metabolic testing you'd have part of a physical or even the things that a lot of doctors run at an endocrinologist's office. This doctor run baseline metabolic testing, what was going on the next level down. Not talking about just glucose or A1C, I'm talking about insulin. Insulin is the driver of your body's ability to burn fat or store it. So my insulin, lo and behold, was way too high, which meant I was pre-diabetic. That's where we look at being pre-diabetic, not just because your glucose or things, that's just kind of a maybe. We need to look at insulin, and that's where I was pre-diabetic. And I found out that I have a genetic predisposition for that. So who knew, right? I also had DHEA levels that were way too low. And what does DHEA do? Well, it helps build your testosterone up. So if you're low in DHEA like I was, you can't maximize the effect of your exercise because you can't really build testosterone. You can't carry out metabolic activity. So that was putting behind the 8 ball too. I also was eating a lot of foods that I was told to eat by the so-called weight loss professionals that was making me gain weight. I had specific food allergies to things like oatmeal, fruit, different things that would actually make my body store fat. So with all those things working against me, how was I going to be successful? And I come to find out now that anything I did had to be tailored to me. So with newfound information, 10 years ago, I made these changes. I found out how to keep my metabolism in order. I found out which foods are working for me. I found out how to exercise correctly. All these different things led to my result now. I'm now down 112 pounds. I lost it in about 14 months. Back 10 years ago, it took me about 14 months to lose 112 pounds just by making those changes. I also don't feel old. I feel like I'm 25 now and I'm 50 instead of 40. So this is 10 years later and I feel like I'm so much younger. I have all this energy. I'm able to do the things that I always wanted to do without the physical limitations. I can walk down an airline aisle and not hit every aisle and every seat. And I can actually get in and sit in a plane seat and not hit the armrest on either side. And I'm a pretty big guy anyway. So that's something for me. And it may seem small to you, but that's a win. And so what I found was, and what can we learn from my experience, is that every program you're looking at better treat you as an individual. It has to be an individual thing that looks at 4 key components. Number 1, chemical. Chemical composition is what's going on in your metabolism. Just like your software on your computer runs that computer, chemicals run your body. So if your chemicals inside your metabolic picture are telling your body to store fat, guess what? You're storing fat. You've got to change the basic chemical composition. You've got to move from where you are right now because we know that's not working. We need to check and move your chemical composition to a place where it is allowing and promoting that fat burn instead of barricading you in and storing it there. Number two, we also need to look at the food you're eating. Nutrition is huge because you've heard that phrase, you are what you eat. Your food that you eat dictates what composition, what chemicals are going to do inside your body. So every time you eat something, it's going to tell your body what's going to happen next. Either you're burning fat or you're storing it. And so we got to make sure that we're always eating foods, or on the most part, eating foods that make sure that our body's burning fat instead of storing it. And it's also got to keep the muscle mass intact. So you've got to make sure that you're consuming enough protein, especially in the days you're exercising, so that you can maintain and build muscle mass. Now, we're talking about number three. We're talking about exercise. And exercise, you've heard the phrase, you either use it or you lose it. That's exactly what happens with your muscle mass. Muscle depends on exercise. It's got to be worked to stay put. So we've got to keep all that muscle. And why is that so important? Well, muscle is what burns fat, and muscle is what's going to keep burning fat for as long as you're alive. You know, as we get older, we tend to lose muscle mass, about 3% per year. So what does that say in 10 years? I'm down 30% of my muscle mass? That's not good. We've got to reverse that trend. We've got to actually build it. So exercise is extremely important. And number four, accountability. It's a biggie. Accountability is what holds us on track. And if your program doesn't have any measure of accountability, you're going to get lost in the weeds somewhere and not have somebody kind of reel you back in. And that's what you need. We all need it. Okay, this is not a weakness. This is just something that's human nature. We need help to have somebody always helping us, giving us pointers, helping us move in the right direction and keeping us on course. And accountability has to be part of that plan. If you will, it's got to be an overarching plan, a lifestyle change customized for you. You know, when we talk about lifestyle change, it's very cliche these days to say, oh, I need to do something. I need a lifestyle change. No, you need a lifestyle change that is your lifestyle change. It can't be Susie's, it can't be Jimmy's, it's got to be Jeff's. Jeff's lifestyle change worked for Jeff. And your lifestyle change has to work for you, but you've got to have those four components in there to give you the information you need. Now, something you can start working on right now, right today. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take out a sheet of paper and I want you to list out all those things that you would love to be doing, but you're not because of your weight, because of your lack of energy, because of the way you feel. Write them down. Because if you write them down, pretty soon you're going to start noticing, man, you know what, I could start on this path. I can start doing these things because this is going to become a roadmap for you for the future. You're going to start clicking these things off and you're going to start saying, okay, I can accomplish this. But you first have to write it down. You first have to acknowledge it. And that's not a weakness either. You have to it's just facing reality. I had to do the same thing. Where do I want to be? I've got to start on that road to get there. We all have to do that. I hope some of this resonated with you. And if it did, take advantage of our free health strategy call. In that call, we're going to discuss several things. Number one, we're going to talk about what you're suffering from. What's going on in your life right now? Why are you watching this video? What's driving you to get this information? All those things that are happening, and we want to make sure that we identify those things that's going on right now. Number two, we're going to talk about the things you've tried. The things in the past, they're in the past, but we want to learn from the past, right? So we need to know what's gone on in the past, and we need to know we're not going to repeat those mistakes. Number three, what are we going to do? We're going to clarify those goals. We're going to clarify what truly is your capacity and where you can go, what your potential is for your health, for all those things you just wrote on that piece of paper. We're going to identify what you can do. And number four is we're going to go through and actually take steps. We're going to give you share some steps that are going to help you achieve those goals. We're going to give you the steps you can take and actually achieve them probably a lot quicker than you think you can. Now, to claim your free health strategy call, all you need to do is click the button below, fill out the questionnaire, be as clear and concise as you can. Be honest, please. That'll help us. That'll help us understand more fully what you're going through and what we can help on our end and prepare for. And then you're going to basically go in and schedule in our scheduler with one of our team members to go through the details and have that call and hopefully help you achieve your goals. and give you some great information. So again, I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to helping you achieve those goals and being of service to you.